Good morning, everybody. Let me also start with Ohayo Gozaimasu. Good morning, everybody. It's indeed a pleasure to be here because this is, we are on a threshold of a very big revolution which we are trying to bring it in India. So let me welcome all the senior officials from the Japanese embassy, from the Daiki, from the IIT Roorkee faculty, and all the people who are interested in solving one of the very basic problems of the country and which can really make a lot of difference in the country, decentralized sewage problem. It's a problem which India always brushed it under the carpet, and we were not looking at it till probably Prime Minister in his address on 2014 from the ramparts of Red Fort thought of taking this huge problem in India head on and said that we should have better sanitation facilities in the country. So Swachh Bharat Abhiyan started, and then various steps were taken for better sanitation facilities in the country, and unfortunately our earlier philosophy was big is beautiful, so we went for big STPs, huge STPs, 500 MLD, 600 MLD. I remember I used to take pride of completing 335 MLD STP at Attapur in Hyderabad way back in 2009. So we said that that's the biggest in Asia. Now when I came to Delhi as DG NMCG, I now say the biggest in Asia is coming up in Okla in 535. So it's all big, big, big. But I am I'm interested in decentralized solution. I'm interested in small things, and definitely small things are beautiful. So Japanese is one country who have marketed the concept of small is beautiful right from the Walkman, the old days, and the small chips and all things which used to come out from Japan. So Johkasou is one of the very important innovation which has taken the world by storm, and which they have been practicing very, very nicely for almost 40 years now. From 80s, I think it started. Johkasou is there. So this concept of decentralized sanitation system is very important, particularly for a country like India, where a lot of waterborne diseases are very common, where a lot of squalor and that probably the higher levels of standards of sanitation are not practiced. This is very important. I remember again going back to my old days when we was the DM of a place called Nizamabad, where in 2001 I had the opportunity to do about 140,000 toilets. What it did was, along with about habitation committee, drinking water committees which we have formed in 2001, and the 1.4 lakh toilets which built, my load of the disease burden in the district, the diarrhea cases came down drastically from 5,000 odd to 157 in 1 year. So I have personally experienced the type of improvement in the life of people, or the quality of life of people, if proper sanitation is done. So at that time I remember calculating 140,000 toilets. If at least 1 lakh toilets are used out of that 140,000, and the quantity of open the night soil which would have otherwise gone into the open area and then washed into the lakes and all, which used to be the drinking water source, would be about 100 tons a day. So much of quantity of night soil and the pathogens associated with it would have contaminated the drinking water, and would have been a major source of expenditure for the poor people to address those health issues. Not only it affects the health of the people, not only it plays on the income of the people, it also reduces the man days available for work. So, Honorable Prime Minister in 2014, when he started this Swachh Bharat mission, the country had, after that, taken a very, very important leap or milestone in the overall health index of the country, because 100 crore, almost 10 crore toilets were built, and many people have started using toilets. So this is a very, very important milestone as far as sanitation in the country is concerned. So along with it, now the 2019 election came out, when PM came out with this Jal Jeevan mission. It is water to the house of every people. So there is going to be a lot of water coming in. The availability of water at the house, at the doorstep of the house, means a lot of water, which in turn means a lot of sewage, which in turn means a large quantity of sewage will be generated, and gives more responsibility for the public health officials as well as people who are engaged in the sanitation business to ensure that proper treatment facilities is made in the country. So this is the right moment for pitching in the decentralized sanitation systems in the country, and Daiki has rightly done it so with the help of Japanese government in 2019 when we had the agreement, and afterwards we had COVID, which reduced the probably expansion of it. But now Namami Ganga and NMCG is also pitching it very hard that we would like to have a smaller decentralized solutions for sanitation facilities in the country rather than big STPs built. No, but this is fundamentally wrong, because big STPs are very costly. It involves a lot of environmental issues. It involves high cost of maintenance. It involves displacement of people to a large extent, because most of our projects are stuck because of the land issues, because we require land for that. And then carrying this entire sewage in a huge pipeline, many times open drains to some part of the country, city, then treat it there and bring it back as a reusable water. It's a huge expenditure by itself. Taking the sewage in a drain to some corner of the city where this STP is built, treat it there, spending so much of electricity, and then probably many times bringing it back for industrial purposes. As I said, it's a very huge expenditure. So the best solution would be look for decentralized sanitation facilities or decentralized treatment of water. That exactly is what the Johkasou model is all about. A very small 100 KLD to 1 MLD to 2 MLD treatment capacity at the household level, or not at the household level, probably a gated community level or a society level, particularly if you look at in India, the Delhi and all. Maybe 2-3 housing societies or colonies can build a small unit and then treat the water there. This is particularly useful when you have apartments, because complexes which houses maybe 30-40 flats. The place I stay, we have about 40 flats in one building. So earlier it should be a 1-story, 2-story building, and maybe 1 or 2 habitations, households used to be there. But now with high-rise buildings, you have the density of households going up, the density of people living in a small area has gone up, which means that proportionately your sewage output also is going up very high. So ideally, if we have small water treatment facilities, sewage treatment facilities available in a society, we can help many things. One, we can prevent this flow of sewage. I would say the procession of sewage around the city to the STP can be avoided. That also brings in a lot of stink and other dirt associated with our city will be much cleaner. While treating this water, the sanitation, the sewage water at the site itself also brings in facilities of less maintenance cost, also brings in more people's participation, because people will be involved in that, rather than now if you ask anybody in Delhi, they said not my responsibility, I thrown it out of my house. Where it goes, what it does, I am not concerned. It is the responsibility of the Delhi Jal Board or people like Namami Ganga to take care of their sewage. If we treat the water probably in the household, probably they also get much more involved in that. They also may feel that they are contributing in keeping the city clean. people's participation is brought in, and most important is if the treated water can be recycled there, that would be a major saving for the water. So the concept of reuse, reduce, reuse and recycle is slowly catching up in India. It has to catch up because of the shortage of water which we face, shortage of good water we face because of the pollution of the water bodies in the cities. Urban areas particularly, you find a lot of areas, partly because of encroachment, partly because of letting off the sewage into the water bodies. The good water bodies in the city areas are disappearing, are getting polluted, and the availability of water is coming down. So if we can recycle the water, if we can treat the water in situ and then and bring it, put it down to the aquifer down below your house, your water table also will increase. And that exactly was the campaign of the Catch the Rain, which was very successfully done last year. It is still going on. The PM himself suggested that we should have ability to catch the rain where it falls, when it falls. It is another beautiful example of decentralized water storage. So we don't let the water to be flown out somewhere, taken to a dam somewhere, and then impound it there, and then bring it back in canals to the fields. If we can store the rainwater falling in your compound, in your place, and then let it sink in your compound, your water table goes up, your expenses, your urban flood can be considered. There are a lot of advantages of catching the rain where it falls, when it falls. Similarly, I would extend this to the slogan, catch the sanitation or sewage where it is generated and when it is generated at the place. So that would also help us in maintaining the aesthetics of the city, maintaining the health of the city, maintaining the water table of the city. Particularly going beyond the city, if you go to the rural areas, we have houses are distributed in India. Houses are distributed far and wide. You have fields in between, and then some sort of houses, a cluster of houses. So there, again, it will be very difficult to build STPs or carry the sewage to some STP far away, treat it and use it. The ideal solution would be to have a Johkasou model of decentralized water storage or FSTP facilities, which treat the sewage at that place and then use it. So Professor Kasmi is there. This technology, though, was developed in Japan. Probably we'll have to tailor make it into Indian conditions. The Indian temperature conditions are different. In the Indian, probably, I don't know, the viruses are all different. I don't know. Bacteria is different. I don't know. But there are adaptations to be made for this technology to be Indian conditions, which the technology providers and the experts like Professor Kasmi and all will be advising us. And I thank Daiki for bringing this technology to India, and thank the Japanese government for supporting us with this, helping us to support us. I was there in Kumamoto and Tokyo last month with the Honorable Minister for the 4th Asia Pacific Water Summit. So there we had discussion with the Japanese Minister of the Environment also, where he was also very, very interested in spreading this technology in India in a big way. So I hope that this workshop today would be eye-opener to many people. And I hope that this technology spreads very fast to interiors of the country. I hope that this Make in India campaign, which Honorable Prime Minister has again started, would help in making these components of Johkasou technology available in India, made in India, so that we also be proud of getting this localized technology used in the rural areas of the country or in different parts of the cities. I'm told Delhi Jal Board has ordered about 40 locations to be for the Johkasou. We are also promoting that. So I hope that today's workshop would be very helpful in spreading this awareness, spreading the message of Johkasou, and spreading the message of small is beautiful. Once again, thank you all, and congratulate Daiki and the Japanese